Varicose veins are conditions that describe as a bulging veins outside the skin in the lower extremities, in the legs. We have two types of blood vessels in the body: arteries and veins. Arteries, they bring fresh blood with oxygen and nutrients to every cell of our body, and veins actually take the used blood without nutrients, without oxygen, towards rejuvenation in kidneys, lungs, etc. So for proper functioning of our body, we need to make sure the circulation is swiftly happening. Arteries bring fresh blood, and veins take away the used blood. In the legs, how does it work? Instead, in the heart, when heart pumps, arterial blood actually goes because of the pressure and gravity. But how do we make the venous blood flow, especially in the legs? Because this blood is supposed to go up against the gravity from the lower part of our body towards the heart. Apparently, we have a second heart. We have a muscle pump, what we call. So that's why we divide our venous system in the leg to two parts: deep veins and superficial veins. The superficial veins, we don't call them superficial because they're visible. No, we call them superficial because they're above the muscles. And deep veins, we don't call them just because they're invisible. We call them deep because they're under the muscles. And what happens? When we walk, muscles squeeze the deep veins and blood goes up. To prevent blood going down, we have what we call valves. It's basically like a double doors that open up and close down. Those double doors in the deep system typically function very, very well, because what can go wrong with deep system? They're very well protected by the muscles, so veins cannot stretch. They're very protected. They're safe. Superficial veins, on top of the muscles, they're not as protected. And many times we see that they increase in size, the valves double doors stretch, and what happens? Blood can go down. If the problem is small, tiny superficial vein, not a big deal. But unfortunately, many times the problem is in the main superficial veins. We call them saphenous vein, great saphenous, small saphenous vein. And the worst part, that this superficial vein system connected to the deep. And what we see that all this blood that finally goes up in the deep system has an opportunity to fall down according to gravity through malfunctioning valves in the superficial system. So that becomes a secondary circle of circulation in each leg between good veins and bad veins. What's the end result? Flood. Like if you guys know, in the basement there's a sump pump that takes the water underneath the building up. And typically we have two pipes, main and backup. And imagine if main pipe brings the water up and backup pipe takes the water down. The end result will be flood. And that's exactly what happens with the varicose vein disease or venous insufficiency.